Hi, I'm Danny Gregory, and I want to teach you how to keep a beautiful sketchbook. I've filled over 150 sketchbooks full of beautiful drawings and color and calligraphy and stories and design, and I want to tell you how you can too. In this video, I'm going to show you the exact materials that I recommend to all of the students taking courses at Sketchbook School. And I've been curating the materials in my own personal toolkit for many, many years, and I've learned a lot about what works best for me, and I think it'll help you too. All right, let's start by talking about probably the most important thing, your sketchbook itself, and about some of the things you might want to think about when you're getting one. First of all, size. How big should your sketchbook be? There are big sketchbooks and medium-sized sketchbooks and little sketchbooks. There are even teeny tiny sketchbooks. Some of them are perfect for keeping at home on your desk, and some will fit into your bag or even into the pocket of your jeans. So what's the right size to pick? I mean, if you have a little sketchbook like this, you can draw in it any time because you'll have it with you. But if you have a large sketchbook, you can also work on more complex compositions and larger images. So why not use the Goldilocks method and pick one that's in between? Pick one that's about, the size of a regular novel, something that you know that you can fit into your backpack or put by your bedside. Next up, binding. Again, there's lots of choices. There are hardbound books with a proper spine that look just like any book on the shelf. And then there are sketchbooks with spiral binding that allow you to flip the pages over and fold the cover back. And I've worked in both, and they're both great options. You can also find high quality books that have a soft cover like this that feel like leather. I love them too. You can get sketchbooks that open from the side, sketchbooks that open from the top, sketchbooks that are landscape or portrait. You can even find sketchbooks that are square or open like an accordion. And you can cover them with stickers and drawings, whatever you want. It's your sketchbook, you make the rules. There are a lot of choices when it comes to paper, too, the paper inside your sketchbook. There are sketchbooks with thinner, smoother drawing paper. That's great to use with a pen or a pencil, but they might buckle and wrinkle if you use water-based media like watercolors and markers. Or you could choose a book with beautiful, heavy watercolor paper, cold press. You can find sketchbooks with tinted pages, gray and blue and brown, and even sketchbooks with tinted watercolor paper. There's also mixed media paper, which is, again, somewhere in between. It's not quite as rough as watercolor paper, but it can take wet media like watercolors or markers much better than regular drawing paper. I think that a mixed media sketchbook is a great place to start and to see what works for you. All right, so there's so many choices, and perhaps you're thinking, I'll just go and buy the cheapest one. Hold on. I recommend getting a quality hardbound sketchbook to work in. It's going to be something that you will treasure for years to come. So why not start with something of quality, something that produces reliable results, and it's a pleasure to work in. The fact is, you're worth it, even if you're a beginner. And if you are just starting out, or if you want a refresher class, check out one of our introductory courses like Art Boot Camp. We'll take you step by step through everything that you need to know to draw and paint in a sketchbook. It's a great course, and I go back and take it time and again too, myself. You can sign up at our website, sketchbookschool.com, and at the end of this video, I'm going to give you a discount code, and I'll also put a link below. All right, next let's talk about pens, and they're my favorite thing to draw with, and I even made a separate video about why that is. But when it comes to pens, there's, again, lots of different options. There are fine liners. These are technical pens, and they come in a whole bunch of different thicknesses from 00 all the way up to 1. And they're also permanent, which means that you can watercolor over their lines without worrying that they'll run and spoil everything. You can draw with, basic roller ball pens and ballpoint pens. I did that for years, and it worked great. Felt tip markers, I love them too. They're flexible, they're broad, they're expressive, they're smushy. You can use brush markers with a hard tip on one end of the pen and a fine, flexible brush on the other side. And then there are refillable brush pens that can make lines of all thicknesses in expressive, sweeping marks. And then there are fountain pens, which can take lots of colored inks, and they have wonderful flexible nibs. They're a real joy to work with. And I love dip pens, which are steel nibs and a wooden handle that you can use with India ink or various kinds of colored inks. There's so many choices, but fortunately pens are inexpensive enough that you don't really have to make up your mind once and for all. So what I'd say is go out, get a few different types, and see how they feel in your hand when you draw. How do the strokes feel? Do they suit your style, your grip? Remember, the best pen is the one that feels right in your hand that you're going to use. This is my favorite right now, but it changes over time. Next, let's talk about adding color to your sketchbook. I love watercolors. They are translucent. You can layer them and blend them. I like to use hand watercolors rather than tubes because they're the most portable. But they come in lots of different types of sets. You can get field kits like this one that are small enough to fit in your bag. I even made my own teeny tiny watercolor set that can fit in the pocket of my jeans. There are different qualities to this. There's student grade, which is less expensive, and then there are artist or professional grade, which have more pigment, they last longer, they give you better colors, but they can be a lot more expensive. I personally prefer Winsor & Newton professional watercolors in all my sketchbooks. There are also so many options when it comes to watercolor brushes, but I think that you should just start with a medium-sized brush like a number 6, and maybe a finer one to do some detailed stuff. That's about all you're going to really need in your sketchbook. My absolute go-to for painting is a water brush, which have plastic handles and a reservoir of water. And I take them with me everywhere. They're a great option. You can also add color with markers. Now, alcohol markers, they might end up bleeding through your sketchbook page, which can be a drag, but there's lots of other wonderful water-based options that are perfect for paper. There's soft, flexible, expressive, thick pens like this Ecoline series and superfine brush pens like these micro brushes from Pentel. And I also love these watercolor markers like these ones from Winsor & Newton. They match the color of their line of watercolors, but they work like markers, and they can also be diluted with water so that they turn into fluid paint. I love markers in my studio, but I rarely take them with me when I draw outside. They're just too bulky carrying around bags of lots of different colors. I also love to use gouache, which is opaque watercolor. And here you can see the difference that the opacity makes. This is what a watercolor painting looks like, and this is what a gouache painting looks like. The colors are vibrant, and you can layer them on top of each other like oil or acrylics, but they're water-based and they work well on paper, and they're pretty easy to clean up. I also love to draw and to letter and to paint with colored drawing ink. And it comes in so many different colors, and I use them with brushes and dip pens. Again, they're great in the studio, but not that smart to carry around with you. Lots of little glass bottles. Messy. I always add colored pencils to my kit when I'm working in my sketchbook because they provide beautiful colors and they're portable, and you can even draw them over washes of watercolor to get even more vibrant colors. You can also sketch with colored pencils, although they tend not to be as easy to erase. A good set of colored pencils will last you a really long time, and the better the quality, the better the colors. I like to narrow down my kit of supplies to a small selection that I can carry with me in my bag. This way I have them with me when I go on the road or when I leave the house. All I need are a couple of pens, a small watercolor set, a brush, maybe a handful of colored pencils, a few brush markers, and of course my trusty sketchbook. It's nice to carry a glue stick and a small pair of scissors in case you come across any kind of ephemera, like a little leaf that you want to press into your book or a souvenir ticket stub from a foreign train ride. These little touches can make the stories in your travel sketchbook really come to life. I've been filling sketchbooks for many years, and I hope that you'll join me on this wonderful adventure. All you need to start is a sketchbook and a pen and a few colored pencils or markers. From there, you'll build your kit. You'll add fresh materials. You'll discover things year after year. You'll evolve and grow. Oh, and meanwhile, here's that coupon code that I promised for the discount on Art Bootcamp. There's a link in the description below where you can sign up. All right, if you have any other questions, pop them in the comments section below. Then grab your supplies, open your sketchbook, jump in and join me. Let's go on an adventure. It's going to be awesome.